Yes, indeed, powerful people. This is another episode of Breaking the Machine. I'm your host, Ahmad the Poet, alongside my partner, Spank the Bank.
What up, though?
And today we'll be taking another incremental step and shifting the culture. Now, today we got a really special episode, man. We got the poet, we got the writer, man, real life influencer, man. We got the founder of the You Matter movement and the brand, man. We got the motivational speaker, man. We got the lecturer, man. We got all that, but you know, besides all that, we just got a real genuine spirit and person in the studio with us today, man. We got Demetrius Harmon in the studio with us today. How you doing, King? Peace to the God, man.
You know, King. When you put all that down on paper, it sounds crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how many things.
I forgot actor, but you know, we got a real person in the studio with us today, man.
He using all his God-given gifts.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? I saw you did a TEDx talk at University of Michigan Dearborn, and that's actually my alma mater, so it was crazy. I think I probably was on campus when you did it.
Wow.
I think I saw like the posters around and stuff like that, so that's crazy. But I watched it. It was super powerful, man. And I watched the one that you did at University of Michigan Ann Arbor as well. And it was a lot of like real good quotables from the lectures, bro. But something that you said was really powerful. You said, "I'm scared to be seen as an idea rather than a person." Could you kind of go into what that means? Because I kind of understand what it means in like relation to like the world as a whole, right? Like when you make a mistake, you want people to be seeing you as like a person. So when you make a mistake, they can understand why you made a mistake because I'm a human. But like, well, it's hard for them to look at their hero or they look at their idea like, man, that my idea made a mistake, my dream made a mistake, this person that I look up to made a mistake. But how is that? Is it you looking at like the world, or is that like your close friends and your family, like that you feel like they look at you as an idea rather than a person?
Well, this shit is like everybody, because like the way I view the world is how I view like the people that's close to me. So like even when I meet people that I don't know, like I see them the same as like I see my moms or like my brother or something like that. So that's why I can bring people in so close to me, because I'm like, you ain't got no ill intent for me, at least I hope. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of discern the difference between people when they do or they don't. But yeah, definitely that idea, like say when I start talking about mental health and shit like that, people like, you're a mental health advocate. I'm like, bro, I'm just a nigga like you that go through it, and I got a platform prior to that. You
to display it.
Yeah, exactly. Like the platform I got from everything was like from making comedy skits. Like it was related to the fact that I was making these skits because I was depressed and finding an outlet, and then I at some point decided to talk about like what I really was going through. But I ain't really got, it's the same thing like parents say, you feel me? There ain't no rule book to this shit, you feel me? So I'm gonna fuck up. But you gotta like see me for who I am as a person, rather than the idea you have, whether it be you see me as a mental health advocate and this is everything you're supposed to be, or my hero, or my baby brother, or my older brother, and like separate the title that you're giving me, and then just see me for who I am as a person, and allow me to like the room to grow the same way you would want for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So like with the internet, you feel me? Like, or just any form of entertainment, a lot of people have personas, you know what I'm saying? If you think about like wrestling and shit, like niggas got these personas, you feel me? That's not who they really are in person, in real life, you know what I'm saying? So like for me, my social media is a direct reflection of like the things I care about. It may be a little bit like shortened, because like I'm like, oh, this is a kind of dark ass joke, I might not say that online, you know what I'm saying? But the things I do say are really how I feel. And how I portray myself is no different from how you're gonna see me in public, you feel me? If don't think I'm no bigger than anybody else. So it's like, if you can allow yourself to see that like this is truly who I am, then you would know I care for your opinion. You would know I care to be better. You would know I never like say anything intentionally to harm or hurt anybody, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's not a facade, like saying you matter and all that shit is not me just saying that because I know people need to hear it. I do know people need to hear it, but shit, everything I've done has started from me and what I've needed, and then I just have a platform to where like I can be myself, and then that connects to other people.
When did you get courage to display all this on the platform?
Shit, like when I first had a platform, but I was on Tumblr. So Tumblr a lot more like, you feel me, like in that regard of you could do shit like that. It's just straightforward. You can post pictures, you can post text, you can post, and any of them could blow up, and any of them can fly under the radar. Twitter is like, nigga, I ain't trying to hear that shit. You feel me? You trying to joke. And like things on Twitter is like kind of where I first started speaking about it. Instagram. Yeah, I know Instagram is like a highlight reel. You go in there, you post your achievements, all your awards. You know what I'm saying? You're not really trying to see somebody go speak about that. But I want to say like 9th grade, 10th grade, maybe like probably 11th is when I really like dove into it and really talking about it a lot. But it was like, again, I couldn't keep faking like I was happy and I was all these things that the people had saw me as. Like, yeah, and like the persona that I was creating was kind of separated from who I was and what I was dealing with in real life. So it was like, either I keep holding on to this and trying to like portray myself as this, or I be honest with myself, which would in turn me be honest with my audience, so that like my reality and the life I'm living are like identical matches. Versus like when I see somebody in public, if I'm feeling down, I gotta act happy. You feel me? When people see me in public and my energy low, they like, bro, you good? Like, you feel me? Like, man, like they say shit to me that I probably should be saying to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they know what I'm going through. If they didn't know what I was going through and I didn't share all that shit, they'd just be like, nigga, you not smiling, what's wrong with you? Meet you was an asshole. You know what I'm saying? But I don't ever really typically get that, you know what I'm saying, if I'm having a bad day, because like I share so much. You know what I'm saying? Like you could go on my Instagram today and see what kind of mood I was in. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's crazy? Before I got into this whole mental health, movement and really getting into it, I really didn't even know all this stuff was out there. Like people was even expressing themselves. I didn't really probably get into it deep and probably till like April of this year. And I didn't even know what anxiety was, man. Like it was mine. I think you talked about it on the previous podcast, like anxiety was your first telltale sign, just, experiencing anxiety. And anytime I would go out, on dates or something, I would throw up before every time. If I go to a function, I'm throwing up. If I'm doing something, my stomach's in knots. And I thought it was just because I was antisocial. But I wasn't always like that. It just was like a moment in life, and then it was like switching. I was just like, that's just who I am. This is how I developed. So for me to understand that, I was just like, okay, that was kind of my path to realizing that it was a problem. And then I was like, but the problem was kind of masked by like, everybody be like, man, no new friends. I'm antisocial. This is how it is. But then I was like, yeah, I am that way. I am like a sensitive person, an introvert. But the anxiety kind of, it was like underneath that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like the no new friends mentality.
I hate it, bro. I really do.
Because how can you grow, as a person? If you constantly with the same friends. I mean, which is nothing wrong with that. But I feel like it's good to venture off and see what other people can do. Like, I got friends from different cultures that taught me a lot of things.
The friends from different cultures, the most fire ones. Like, one of my closest friends is from Norway. When I first met this nigga, he was a fire producer. His name Lido. And we in the studio, my homegirl had brought me there because I was like having a down day. She's like, let's go to the studio. Lido makes like crazy, like Jersey type mixes, just crazy instrumentalists. And nigga, he like, I'm ordering food. Y'all want something? You know what I'm saying? You want something? He just gave me his phone and just ordered some shit. I'm like, nigga, I might not have did that. I don't fucking know you. You know what I'm saying? So just that generosity that he gave me, and then the
hospitality they
give. The hospitality they have in their like other cultures is so different from just our culture as Americans. You know what I'm saying?
And do you feel like that's what caused the mental health anxiety, because our culture is so mean and evil?
Well, shit's a lot of shit. Like, it was like death. I had like a lot of death growing up.
Yeah.
Like out of nowhere, so I never knew how to process that. Like,
right.
Nobody in my family like really talked about shit. Like, it was just like, yeah, this happened.
Yeah.
Godmom got murdered. You know what I'm saying? Boom. We put that to the side. After the funeral, there's no ripples of like how to talk about it, shit like that, life change and shit like that. But also, you know what I'm saying, you got the aspect of like toxic masculinity. And then there's that in general with men, but then there's also that with black men. You know, because we are supposed to be tough. We fighting so much stuff that we black people in general are behind like a mug in the economy, nigga. So all you're thinking about is work. You feel me? All you're thinking about is providing. So it's like, if you spent time thinking about how you feel, which we really haven't had the chance to do. You feel me? You feel like you've taken away from what you're working towards. You feel me? Like when we in the civil rights movement, niggas not, bro, I'm depressed. Nigga, yeah, cool, but we still got a mission. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now we're in an age where it's like we still got a little bit of time to breathe. And once you breathe, you're like, fuck, I don't really even feel good. Why I don't feel good? And you start thinking about everything you've been through, and it's like, and you got to unpack all that, but we don't really know. With the physical, you know what I'm saying, it's easy to look and be like, this is out of order. Like, just put it in order. But in your mind, it's like,
Like, I feel like I get trauma from a lot of police shootings. That's one thing that's like brings my anxiety, scared the shit out of me every day. Like, damn, bro, I hope I can, like when I go to the burbs, I be scared of shit, man, for real. Like, I just hope like nobody pull me over and be on no fuck shit.
Yeah, but you a big black nigga.
Man, that don't mean shit.
No, I'm saying you
George Floyd was too.
I'm saying like that also increases it.
Oh yeah.
Also increases it.
Yeah.
Like you could be seen as intimidating.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like that shit right there, that's to me, that's trauma. It's just like if I went to war, seeing somebody get killed and come back, I got PTSD. That's the same shit to me.
But it is. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like you gotta think it was a point in time where you couldn't look on the news without seeing somebody get killed. Not just hearing about it, you seeing their dead body.
Yeah.
You feel me? You go on Twitter, you seeing black bodies dead. You feel me? So
They make it so normal, and that shit is not normal at all.
but it's meant to desensitize you. It's meant to take the value away from like how we see our own black bodies. You know what I'm saying? Because you just seeing them dead. So they want you to tune out so that this shit can keep going on. But then it's also tiring and draining on your own mental because you want to stay tuned in, but it's like fuck every day.
Yeah, because that shit was hard to go to work every day. I was working at Target at that time when that George Floyd situation happened. And it was just hard to go to work, bro. It was like I had got high one day sitting down with my man. It's like, damn, bro, we shouldn't be going to work, bro. We should just chill, bro. One of our own just got killed in public. You know, I'm like that, bro. Why the fuck is we still going to work? That's when I really sat down. COVID really made me sit down and tune in my mental health.
That's what happened with everybody. That's what, you know what I'm saying? You said in April is when you tapped in, like, is you by yourself with your thoughts?
Yeah, I feel like, you know, us blacks, we really grew up in survival mode.
Yeah, that's all we got.
Yeah, that shit is just shit crazy.
It's more to life than surviving.
It is, but I feel like we steady surviving, trying to make the next day. Like, you had posted something when you was like, people talking about what you got 5 years from now. You talking about, I felt that shit. You talking about shit. I'm trying to live for the, you know, trying to figure out today. That's true. Like, nigga ain't always thinking about 5 years ahead. I'm trying to figure out, nigga, how I'm gonna go home tonight and lay my ass down without trying to do nothing crazy to myself. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
That shit be hard, bro.
Yeah, niggas be getting on my nerves with that stuff. Like I was
Yeah.
talking about generational wealth, LLCs, all that. Man, shut that shit up, man. It be so much real stuff going on in the hood. It's like, bro, people really just got trying to make it day to day, man.
That's what I be
Like,
telling people too, like, when I, like, you feel me? Because I'm on the internet, so it's like, so many people got access to me. You know what I'm saying? You don't see what's behind me. You don't see what's around me. You know what I'm saying? You don't see where we came from. So it's like, nigga, how you want to argue with me on Twitter or Instagram about some shit and my brother trying to feed his kids and I'm in a position to help him do that? You feel me? That's not what the fuck I give a fuck about. I don't give a fuck about this Twitter shit. I don't give a fuck about this Instagram shit. Like, I care to just do what I got to do to take care of them. I care what I got to do to take care of myself. And after that, I just want to take care of people. Because if my world look like this, nigga, and we not even fucked up, you feel me? We come from the hood, but we middle class now, you know what I'm saying? Like, and grew up middle class. I know it's people in other countries, you feel me? Like, bombings, you feel me? Poverty, you feel me? So it's like, once I take care of my people, all I care about is taking care of everybody else. But it's like, nigga, the way anxiety work is like, you don't want to think about the future because that shit,
Man,
5 years,
yeah.
but then you get anxious because you're like, fuck, I need to figure this shit out.
Yeah.
So you stuck in a cycle of
Yeah.
like, nigga, I can't think about this shit, but I need to think about this shit, and you get paralyzed.
I think that's why it's just good to go to flow. Cause I feel like I've been paralyzed just trying to think too far ahead. Like, bro, how I'm gonna get this crib? You know what I'm saying? 5 years, and I want this crib, this house, this nice wedding. You feel me? How the fuck I'm gonna get this shit 5 years from now? But if I realize, man, I'm gonna go with the goddamn flow. That's why I've been going with, like, cause you right, I get paralyzed trying to think all that shit ahead.
It's like, it's certain things you can plan for, certain things you can't. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, nigga, certain things that you can make steps for, so when you in those positions, it's already set up. You already got the foundation. But nigga, you can't be like 10 years, this is where I'm gonna be at, because you kind of set yourself up for failure. Like, I know people that say in 5 years they're gonna do this, and then they'd be in a fire-ass position, but because they wasn't in a position they told themselves they would be in 5 years from now, they not happy. You feel me? But it's like certain things you could do as far as like setting up your saving like habits that help you, so when you do really bring in some cheese, you already got the habits, you feel me, versus getting cheese and then be like, damn, I gotta figure out how to do this, because now you on a spending frenzy because you never had it, you feel me? Like, if you know the value of the dollar, if you think about all those things, you feel me? Like, there's certain like things within yourself you can set up to prepare for the future, regardless if that's a year, regardless if that's a week, you feel me? Like, regardless of that paycheck to paycheck. And there's other things that's like, nigga, you don't even know, you feel me? Like, I think with me experiencing so much death, nigga, it's like hard for me to plan for the future, because it's like, nigga, I could be going tomorrow. Like, I could be going right now, nigga. Some shit happen right now, you feel me? So it's like, I plan, like, my acting teacher told me this shit, Richard Lawson. And this wasn't even related to, like, life, but it was like, it clicked with me in that regard, where he like, you do all this planning for a scene when you act, and then when you get on that stage, you just gotta let it all go. You feel me? So everything we prepare, every mannerism, yada, just be in that moment. So I can plan all this shit, but then I also gotta like live. Because when you living a life in your head just too far ahead, you're not appreciating where you're at. And when your head is too far on your mistakes, like think about your mistakes, you're not appreciating where you're at. So it's like you gotta plan you got to remember what you went through so you can plan for the future better, but you also got to like experience where you are right now.
That's a lot.
It is, bro. It's a lot. Life is crazy.
Yeah, I feel like relationships play a big part of that. You know, that whole projection gap. You know what I'm saying? You want to be a certain place in a relationship. It happens with money, a whole bunch of stuff. I wanted to ask you, do you ever feel like you sacrifice your own personal happiness for like the family a little bit? Because I heard you in the TEDx talk, you was basically saying like you feel like you substitute your presence with alternatively with money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like you the black sheep. You the one who got to do that. And I feel like, you know what I'm saying, both of us kind of feel that same way. And it's just like, how do you take that in? Like, do you feel like that's just your role to you know, your road to walk, or is it just kind of like, do you feel like it could be easier if everybody operated as a unit, like as a family? Because that's how I be feeling sometimes. Like, dang, this shit just really difficult because everybody won't really just
Niggas don't
get behind me. You know what I'm saying? Or get behind one central idea.
I think what it is what it is, bro. I think what it is. Come ahead and let you ask your question. But I think what it is, bro. Niggas is too close-minded, bro.
Yeah, most definitely. And not even just like black community, just niggas in general. Like,
Yeah.
But you gotta think like it's like what is it? I forget what it is, but it's like you only think about what you see. I forget what the idiom is, but I went to LA and I'm like, damn, my whole world expanded. You feel me? You go to Paris, it's like, fuck, this is how they living. This is what this life looks like.
Your mind just.
You feel me? But if you only here and you only in that house, that's all you think the world is. And the world is not that. You know what I'm saying? So the bigger you see the world is, the smaller the problems become. The smaller all of this become, you feel me? Like, but in the same sense, niggas that spend like $20, you feel me? Like, you give a homeless man $20, nigga, they will like, God bless you feel me? Because that's how big 20 is to them.
Man.
But 20 so little to you know what I'm saying? So like when you start just kind of like seeing how everything's scaled and like the perspective of shit, you really can like find a balance. You feel me? But to answer your question, it's a difficult position to be in because I'm the youngest. Besides my little baby brother, but he's newborn. Like I grew up being the youngest, so it was like I started my clothing brand. I was in like 7th grade. You feel me? Like it was at one point, nigga, I made like $10,000 in a month. Nigga, I'm in 7th grade. I'm like, I'm about to buy some product. Nigga, I got some black patent leather Prada. Nigga,
off the cargo pants.
Nigga, off the necks. Nigga,
Off the Max. Oh my bad. Off the Max. What polo you had on?
I had the Japan zip up track.
Yeah, I already know. That's
went
that's
to,
2011 around there.
I went to Robichaud. out in Inkster.
Yeah.
But
You had to cut the
oh yeah, you cut the sleeves.
I'm already knowing.
It was crazy, bro.
I'm already knowing.
But it was like shit. Like you feel me? Like you think it. Like I'm very big on thinking perspective. So it's like nigga, and you my 13-year-old brother, and you try to hand me $1,000. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
Like your pride, you know what I'm saying? But it's like no, like I see your efforts, I see your work, I want to help. You feel me? Like, but then like I can't say that if I didn't have my family, I would have my clothing brand. That first year when we dropped hoodies, like my whole family, nigga, I got like pictures, videos, like photos, you feel me, like of everybody in the living room, crisscross applesauce, where they had a job that day and got home at 6, folding up hoodies, putting them bitches in packages, and that's why it worked. So when we came together, that's why it worked, you feel me? But it's like, once we are separate, once it's like different, it's not one mind and one pack and one movement, we're not moving in unison, that's when it kind of get, you know, like jumbled and kind of like confused. But like, I think my difficulty come in with being the young one and not being a little kid no more. You feel me? I got experiences, I got things that I do every day. So follow my lead. Not to say, nigga, just listen to me and do what the fuck I say, but like, just take my advice. Like, listen, like, just take it, you know what I'm saying? Just take it in. You feel me? Whether it's about life, you know what I'm saying? You may be 7 years older than me. The brother that's closest age to me is 7 years older than me. It's shit that I've told him that he like, I ain't never even thought about it like that. I'm like, why would you buy this if you can't buy it like 5 times? Why would you buy this if you need that? You feel me? Like, why would you buy a chain or something that's $2,000 and you just made $3K? You feel me? Now you got $1K left and you're trying to figure out how to pay rent.
Yeah.
Put that towards that. If you still want that, put like 200 up for it. You're going to make 200 10 times at some point. That watch not going nowhere, you feel me? But you need this. You need these things. So, like, try and tell my brother, like, shit, I had to learn about, like, financial literacy, shit like that. And I'm like, these are things that we don't get taught. You know what I'm saying? So, for him to be able to, like, open up and just, like, listen to me, he probably better for that. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of things he probably put me up to as me growing up that have made me into who I am. So it's like the same thing as like separating. I've been fucking talking.
No, you good, but that shit be hard though. Like, I know sometimes I be at the family events talking about like financial literacy and shit. Nigga just be looking at me, nigga, shut the fuck up. It just be like, shit. I mean, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I'm just trying to get niggas on the same path so we can get to the goal much faster. Cause I feel like if I do it by myself, I ain't say it by myself, but when I get there and y'all niggas looking at me like, damn, I was trying to tell y'all niggas months ago.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying?
And the thing for me, like, this shit like recently happened. It like pissed me off. Like my mom's, you feel me, like she be working and shit. You feel me? But like she by herself. And it's 3 of us, grown ass men, you feel me? Like of course I'm in a position where I can like make money from being myself. Like separate of the clothing brand, you feel me? Like I have a person like an internet personality where like, I can do ads, shit like that, you know what I'm saying? So like I'm not just like, you feel me, like the person that take care of everything, but my mom like, yeah, I need like 100 for Thanksgiving food. I end up covering the whole thing, you feel me? And it pissed me off because I'm like, nigga, it's like 20 of us. I mean, it's like 4 of us, $20 each. My mom would throw her 20 in, that's 100, you feel me? And my brother got 3 kids, my other brother got 3 kids. That's 8 people alone. You feel me? And then you add in the girlfriends, that's 10. But she not cooking just for us 5. She cooking for this whole house. Right. So if you think about us all as one unit, I know you got your own house you need to take care of. One house that you are the man of, you got to provide for. But we all coming together. So we all chip in, we all eat. You feel me?
It makes so sense.
And so it's like why would I put up 100 and take care of everybody when we all can take care of each other? And of course, like I can do that, and it's not even like I'm thinking like spitefully, like nigga, fuck y'all niggas. I'm gonna
you just thinking strategically.
Yeah, it's like bro, because if you put up 20 and we did all this, you feel me? Like you might like not even that they do, you feel me? But it's like say if they felt the way like nigga, like I don't even really feel right eating this shit because I ain't put shit in on it. You know what I'm saying? That's never how my family works. But you feel me? In other situations, it's like nigga, if you just put in your little 10, like say like I just rented out like the movie theater for like me and all the homies. It was like 440 people. Everybody, all 40 people give you $10. That's cheaper than if you bought the ticket. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like when you look at that big number, it's like oh fuck. But you just think about it, us all as being like a village, and you know what I mean? Us each one like
that's
do
what we
do
talk
their
about
part.
all the time. Yeah, man.
Nigga, it's nothing. It's light work. You feel me? If 10 people trying to carry up one thing, nigga, that shit light. And one person trying to do it themselves, that shit can get kind of heavy.
No, I think now once you learn financial literacy, it's really easy to make money in a union.
Yeah,
you know how to really make. Yeah, you really know how to make money in a union. No. Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, and I think that's one of the biggest things that aggravates people, just being misunderstood. Like the fact that like you want to voice that and you become the asshole for voicing that. Like my cousin told me like 3 weeks ago, he was cutting my hair. He said, "Man, you know, growing up, you was an asshole." I said, "What?" And I was just like, "Dang, bro, that's really how like certain people perceive you a certain type of way. Like to somebody, you like the coolest dude in the world.
Why was you
to other
asshole?
People, just because I speak my mind."
People don't like that.
Yeah, people don't like people who speak their mind. I would speak my mind. Like if I would see somebody doing me and my brothers wrong or something like that, I'd be like, man, like fuck this shit. I don't care who you are. Like, what's your position in this family? Like you an ass. Like I would get on you, and that made me the asshole to certain people.
Do that cause you anxiety to this day? When you
Yeah, it do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it do. I mean, just because like you know we like to shift what we say and what we don't say. And it's just like, bro, what's the truth, bro? That's what I care about. I don't give a fuck how it make me feel. It's like, bro, what's the truth?
Facts.
Hey, was he really doing this wrong? If he was, hey, I said it. You know what I'm saying? And I might be the one to take the flack for it. And a lot of people be like, they be wondering how you get stuff done, man. And it's just like, yeah, sometimes the aspects that help you get stuff done is stuff that, you know, certain people don't like about you. Maybe like you really like heavy on time. And people like, man, I can't stand that he really like strict on his time. But that's how you get stuff done. Right. And it's like, but you like that I get stuff done. You like that I get, you know, that I'm able to acquire things, but you don't like the mentality that I had to assume to get those things.
Almost.
And that's, you know what I'm saying? That's what I feel like people, because you call me an asshole, but like me being an asshole, it helped me. It helped me survive my family for real, for real. Like I wouldn't have survived you niggas without being an asshole a little bit. Yeah, I am an asshole. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I might have been. So that's kind of how I feel, just like about voicing your issues about different things you have in your family. Like when you voice it, then you become this person. Yeah, the black sheep. Like, yeah, the black sheep. It's just like, nah, bro, that's just who I am, bro. But I heard you talk about something as well. when you was in Ann Arbor teaching at U of M, and you was talking about the wheel versus the Carlton idea. I said, damn, that shit powerful as hell. The wheel versus Carlton.
Huh? I gotta hear that.
Yeah, you was talking about the difference and basically how neither of them really created themselves, but they just here, they existing, and how it's kind of like we put together like in the system, you know what I'm saying, subconsciously.
Yeah.
And could you kind of break down how that happens, you know what I'm saying, and how we bridge that if possible?
Well, the first way to bridge it is we just gotta stop judging people. Like, and there's a truth to like being like, when, you know, fucking racist people cop out. It's like, I don't see color. We all human. But it's like say just if you just take that black community, if you don't see like preference, if you don't see, you feel me, like when people like say like the problem like when certain shit get spoke about is like when people talk about like badly about the LGBTQ community. You forget that there's like black people that are part of that community. So how can you just be pro-black and anti that? You know what I'm saying? That just don't make sense. But it's because your idea of what being black is very skewed. When the black identity is very like broad. You know what I'm saying? To be black, all you gotta do is be black. You know what I'm saying? Everything else that come after that like is who you are as a person. You feel me? And so it's like when you think about Carlton, it's like Will always be on his ass. Like, you ain't come from where I come from. You don't dress how I dress. And then Carlton like would defend himself and just be himself. You feel me? So it's like, imagine somebody fucking with you for you just being who you are and claiming that you're less of literally your part of your identity. You know what I'm saying? There's no fact to that at all. And to bridge that, we just have to see each other for who we are and accept that. Regardless if it's like, nigga, like, black people love like kung fu movies and shit. But they at a moment they stop their anime. Nigga, what? You feel me? Like, it's just certain things, like interests that people have that are who they are. It's certain ways people talk because of the environment they grew around. You feel me? Like, just things like that. So it's like, my take on that was just the understanding of like people. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like we are black and that's where we have those commonalities. You know what I'm saying? Because like when you think about it, like, nigga, regardless if it's me or you, and say if we both have completely different personalities, we ain't got the same experiences. If you get pulled over and I get pulled over, we possibly have the same anxiety. Yeah. You feel me? But take that away and it's like, all right, cool, the cop don't know your identity. The cop don't know your personality. So that don't make you less black. You feel me? To the world you still is. So that's where we link. We can have different interests and still be cool. You can have different interests and I can still respect you and validate your identity.
A lot of men from the hood can't do that.
No, not at all. But that's what we think the only black experience is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And
a lot of us haven't really experienced middle class. And when you do meet middle class people, you think they stubborn, uptight and shit. You don't really want to deal with. You think they better than everybody.
But there's also there's a lot of fucking sides, bro. Yeah. Because like, say like I told you, we grew up Joy Road, Burt, or Rouge. You feel me? Like right there. And then we moved to Dearborn. You feel me? Like, I didn't know shit about Dearborn. Like, all my ties, like, everybody I knew, like, I was an introvert kid, so I didn't even leave out the crib. But when I did, like, I was going back to where we came from, like, off Westwood, you feel me? Plymouth. That's where our bus stop was, you know what I'm saying? Still in the hood, you feel me? So, I didn't know shit about the suburbs and, like, that there was, like, all this stuff to have access to until later. Right. But, niggas do get snobby, you feel me? Niggas can get snobby because, like, I read, like a quote I seen that was fire, was like, some black people identify more with wealth than their black identity. So the higher you get up with making money, that becomes your identity. It does. So they was talking about like rich, like super billionaire, millionaires, you feel me? And like when shit be going on and niggas don't talk about shit. Because they don't want to mess up how they make their money by revealing that they're black, even though you can see that they black. You know what I'm saying? Standing alongside in solidarity. So it's like you gotta think with niggas' main goal is like, get out of here, get out of here, right here. And when you get right there, nigga, you don't want to go back to these niggas. Hell no. But it's like, nigga, you can't forget where you came from. You can't forget about the people you came from. You have to, relate to their struggle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to, bro. Like, you have to remember, like, where you came from. Because somebody else want to get to where you are, and instead of it being crabs in a barrel, where you shitting on another nigga, you're like, all right, fuck that nigga. He trying to get to the top, pull him down. You gotta be like, all right, bro, I'm up here. All right, somebody right here hold my hand, I'll pull you up. And if a nigga don't want to reach his hand out and listen to what you're saying and how you made it and how he can make sense of how you made it to apply to his life, then that's that. Because you can't feed a horse that don't want to water, you feel me? But you should at least try. You shouldn't turn your back on your people, you feel me? Even if it's not somebody you know what I'm saying? Like, we all are trying, you know what I'm saying? We all trying to make it. So it's like, why would you just be selective with your wealth of knowledge, you know what I'm saying?
So you live off love?
Yeah. Love is the thing that connects all humans. is what I believe. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why so many other things are so prevalent, because like, if you don't love everybody, then what you hate. You know what I'm saying? Like, but hate is ignorant. Hate is ignorant. Love is the knowledge. Love is like when you are aware of something, and even if you don't accept it, even if you not even accept it, even if you not hip and you're not like, man, that make a lot of sense to me. I love you anyway. You feel me? Like, you have to see people as humans first. You feel me? And then if they do something wrong to you, cool, you can write them off after that. Or if you feel like that energy, you cool, you can keep your distance after that. But nigga, we all are in this shit together.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's crazy. I didn't think I started to embrace that concept until I started working in the inner city schools, doing the mentoring, and then I really saw that, like, that's crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got the white kids coming up to you, and their story is exactly the same. Or it's just like, bro, you see them getting picked on, and you see yourself in that person. It's like, man, I was getting picked on. Like, I don't want nobody to pick on him. You know what I'm saying? He got these issues. He coming to you with these problems.
Color don't mean anything.
Yeah, and it's just like, damn, man. It's just like, I know what they told me, but you know what I'm saying? I know what they told me, but it's just like, man, I just be seeing humans, bro. Humans, bro.
That's how I feel. Like, even with this book I'm reading now, how to win friends, influence people. And it talks about that, don't criticize people. A fool does that. And that's true. Lately I've just been trying to, love everybody and accept people for what they flaws and everything. Like, you can do me wrong. Okay, hey, it's cool. Keep it moving, but I ain't got no hate against you.
Do you think it's possible to ever get rid of all those different seeds, negative seeds that was sown as a child? Like, a lot of us be like, man, we got all these different things that we do, these little twitches that we do that was put into us as a child. Like, somebody said, your nose is too big, and then now your whole life you trying to, like, change that. Like, is it really possible to ever free yourself of, free yourself of all these different things? Or is it like, it's like a lifetime journey to, like...
Well, I think everything a lifetime journey. But... shit do get better for sure.
Yeah.
Like, and then things could get worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's days where I'm like, nigga, bro. Like, I'm just looking at myself in the mirror like, nigga, we can do whatever you want. You feel me? Like, that's just how I feel about myself. That's how I feel about my aura. That's how I feel about the way I present myself. All those things. And the days like, fuck, nigga, you need to get a haircut. That shit ain't fixed nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just down on myself. So it's like I did not find myself attractive. Like, none of those things. I didn't like nothing about myself growing up. So for me to be
that shit was hard. Boy,
what?
They was calling me Dirty D in school. Like, bro, to this day,
it's trauma.
Oh my God, bro.
Kids are crazy, dog.
Man.
Because that's an alliteration. Niggas tripping.
Bro, that was middle school, high school, bro. Like, if I ain't had the right shit on, bro, that shit is terrible. That shit terrible. I had a feel of Pradas. They got me on the feel of Pradas.
Hey.
I had it bad.
I'm sorry. I know a couple niggas that got called to fetal products. I'm like, ugh. Bro, when I had them products, it was like an episode of Atlanta. I don't know if y'all seen the episode. Have y'all watched Atlanta?
Yeah.
You know the episode with the FUBU jersey?
No, I didn't see that one.
Bro, there's an episode where Ern and some other kid, they like do a flashback to when he's like middle school Sunday. He had got a FUBU jersey from like TJ Maxx or some shit. Wore to school, niggas like, bro, you got the same jersey on this dog. One of y'all is fake. Y'all ain't got the same details. And so they comparing niggas, like, they had a dog coming to the school, like, one of the kids, like, looking at shit. They tell, like, Paperboy, when he was a kid, had, like, it's like, I know real football, his shit fake, talking to dog. Dog killed himself next day.
Damn.
But, bro, like, when I was in school and I had them products, like, I got them bitches off, like, a resale company. I don't know if these bitches real or not. I just know I paid the price that I'm supposed to pay for these bitches.
They got the double. Remember niggas used to come up to your
Double
shoes?
strap?
You got the double around. It was something. It had to be double around the shoelaces or something.
Yeah, the stitching.
Yeah, stitching. Hold on. Oh, you got single, cuz. Them bitches ain't real. Like,
Bro.
damn, bro, y'all niggas dumb.
They got me foot to foot with another nigga, like, bro. Your paint coming off your shit, his shit fake. I'm like, bro.
The mental, that's trauma.
Yeah,
That's trauma for sure. That's trauma for sure. That's trauma for sure. And it's like, as kids, you gotta think like, we in school and we like, that's the coolest kid ever. Like,
Yeah.
bro, they go home and their parents hate them. Their parents hate them. You feel me? Like, but we can't see that because we are children. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, as an adult, like, we're a lot easier on children because we understand that they just like reflecting what they getting back in the world. You know what I'm saying? Those mean ass kids, that shit came from somewhere.
Yeah.
Whether it's them not having power in their everyday to day life, so they put on this persona in school. You ever seen a mean ass kid cry?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you crying about?
Yeah.
You the one that make people cry. That nigga's hurting on the inside, but he just don't know how to process it.
And he cried the worst.
Yeah.
Man, the whole class stopped like,
Crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy because I've been seeing that many a time, man. Start shaking and stuff.
Yeah,
it's one of
can't breathe.
The eyes turn red first, and then it's just like, damn, man, he really going through it, man. That's trauma.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, them, I don't even want it. Man, bro, that brand stuff, bro, that's crazy, bro. Because I remember when I first, because I went to private school before I went to public school. When I went to public school
is tough.
Yeah, woo!
Yeah,
Don't I know it? I went there, man, and my mom was like, "Man, you want some sneakers?" I was like, "Yeah." She bought me some Riddell's, like the football helmet. It's sponsored like it's Riddell.
Hey, when you said Riddell, I'm like, that's not the helmet.
Dog, it's the helmet. So they had shoes. I forgot where it was, like Dick's Sporting Goods. Man, they had shoes there, man. Bro, man, bro, that was the worst year of my whole school life, man. Like
I had to say,
bro. I mean, I got in like 3 fights just off of that, bro. Like I didn't even force it. Like dudes just like, bro, I'm fighting you because you got those shoes on, dog. Like, bro, it was bad, man. Until I started rapping, it was bad, man. Like I just
that's
remember,
crazy.
like,
Once you open your mouth, niggas be like, "Oh, this nigga cool." Fuck
yeah. It's like the jungle, man. It's like you got to stick up for yourself.
Yeah.
You got to say something, man.
Yeah.
Like you got to say something. It's crazy, man.
I was quiet in school until the high school. Well, I was quiet until like maybe like 6th grade. Yeah, but I was quiet as hell. I just had like my group of 3 friends because we was like anime kids. I was heavy on the computer, so like everything I know how to do now is because I was a nerd. Like I Photoshop.
I don't feel like that's nerd shit.
Well, not
now.
But when I say it, I don't say it with negative connotation.
Yeah.
I just say nerd because I was like, you could be a computer nerd. You feel me? You could be a music nerd. You could be a book nerd. I don't say that. I just say anybody that's deeply involved.
I feel like I'm a Power Ranger nerd then.
Oh, for sure, probably.
Yeah.
If you just what you self-proclaim. But like, I never say it with negative connotation when I say nerd.
Because if you look at everybody photoshopping now, everybody doing everything with the computer.
Yeah. But it's like, nigga, I was ahead of the wave.
Yeah.
I mean, I taught myself Photoshop in like 3rd grade, bro. Like that's because I was so tapped into that shit. And it was easier to get like information because we had social media.
We did.
So all you was getting on the internet was like how-tos. And maybe like Yahoo Messenger and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, damn. Time has came. Well, Bebo came in what, 05, 06?
I don't know how old I was. I couldn't tell you.
Damn.
But I also wasn't that nigga. I would have got my ass beat. Talking to strangers and shit, I would have got my ass beat.
That is crazy how the world has changed, man. You couldn't get on social media at that young. Now everybody on TikTok.
Shit, I
My little
was.
sister on TikTok. Well, I wasn't.
I didn't get a Facebook till I was in like 6th grade, and it was behind my mama's back. And she was like, "You gotta add me on there so I can see what you post."
Yeah, facts.
Friends with.
I didn't get a Facebook till I was in 10th grade.
I ain't get Facebook till 8th grade.
I didn't get a phone till I was in 10th grade.
Yeah,
I had a phone, but I used to walk. I mean, I used to catch the bus.
I used to have the mini phone.
The Obama phone?
Yeah, Obama. No, before the Obama phone, the Bush phone.
Yeah.
I used to have that motherfucker.
I had that Metro PCS Messenger bitch in like 8th grade and 7th grade. The little one that slide up and do the little.
Dog, the way technology is evolving, that shit is crazy.
No, for sure.
So what do you think keeps you grounded to like, what's going on in that whole mental health space? Like, do you think it's your family or kind of like, how do you stay, or is it people tweeting you or DMing you, saying like, how do you stay tapped in, like really? Or do you feel like, because me personally, I feel like, I know it might be a hard concept to understand, but I know people be like, we one with the earth and stuff like that. I
do shrooms. So.
Yeah, like yeah, man.
Say that third.
Yeah, Courtney came up with yeah.
What the fuck you be seeing?
I mean, you kind of just see like it's weird. I saw all the stars, like every star in the sky. It was weird.
Damn.
Like the sky was like lit up with stars. It was crazy. It was weird. That was the first time I did shrooms though. And then after that, I kind of like I don't really see nothing crazy like unless you're doing like a crazy amount. But I feel a lot. Like it's weird because I'll get overwashed with a feeling. Like I'll be looking at a person, and then I'm like, oh fuck, and now I just start crying. And if all you're crying, like, bro, you're so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like, that feeling overwhelmed me type shit. And so, yeah, it's just, with me, it'd be my feelings. Because, like, sometimes I don't, like, the feelings I can't access, I, like, would feel them on shrooms.
That's right.
But you were saying...
no, I was just, it's like, I don't know, like, I feel like the cycles that be going on in, like, popular society or whatever, I feel like I feel it in my spirit before I even see it on the news. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I feel down and then I go on social media, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's like it's a down thing going on outside. And I felt it in myself before I see it out there. Or maybe it's just like I see the stuff that verifies the way I'm feeling. I don't see the positivity. Maybe that's what it is. But I'm just saying, like, how do you stay tapped into, like, what's going on?
Well, shit, I just moved back home, like, in April. Cause like I was saying in the podcast, it's like, nigga, I ain't even here, bro. I came back home one day, went to go see my little brother. This nigga started crying, was scared of me. And they like, yeah, I don't think he know who you are. I'm like, fuck, that's crazy. Like, I'm not around that much. Like, just a little 2 months. You feel me? A little 2 month like time apart. This nigga don't remember me. I'm like, all right, cool. But it's definitely family. I'm very big on family, and like not even just biological. You know what I'm saying? Like, probably talk to this nigga Adam all the time. You know what I'm saying? And even our little friend group. You feel me? Like, just being around people that like reassure you that there's something real going on. You know what I'm saying? Because we was never supposed to have access to this many people in their lives and their thoughts, nigga. Bro, like when you go on Twitter, you're reading somebody else's thoughts. Just imagine just you in this room and it's 100,000 people here and everybody talking. Yeah. So I don't even know what the fuck I think. I don't even know what I care about. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I've digested all of that shit, so I take little detoxes. You feel me? But like being around my family and being around myself, you feel me? Like playing a game, shit, going outside and just like thinking about shit and also like remembering where I came from. Like I'm big on like the history of my life and my family, like where we come from. So like I tell the story all the time. Like my grandma used to say like her favorite thing growing up was the fact, like the thing she was most proud of growing up was the fact that their house was the only house that had indoor plumbing. And I'm like, nigga, I ain't never thought about being grateful for a toilet in my house. Wow. But she from Alabama, you feel me? Yeah. So it's like during that time too, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing you was most proud of, you feel me? Like to just where we've came, to my dad being a truck driver, to him making those sacrifices, which allowed me to do what I can do. So I'm like, damn, I wonder what me having a kid gonna look like. You know what I'm saying? So then I get excited about the future instead of dreadful like I am in other moments. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's always an up and down. But I just try to keep that balance. Like, balance is the only thing we can look for.
That shit hard, bro. Like, even like, just you talking about social, like Twitter, I just got anxiety right now because I feel like all that shit just trauma and just spooky to me.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Like, it's regardless how you twist it, if it's good, if it's bad, like, if you go on Instagram and it's just like a bunch of niggas like, man, we made it this far, yada yada. Even if you ain't like hating nigga, it's just like, damn, bro, I'm supposed to be doing shit like that. Like, boom, you get stressed. You could feel joy, but then it's just like still, it's a overwhelming amount. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit. Like imagine we was like in the early like colonization of like America. You feel me? All you know is what's in front of you. Niggas could be coming to fuck your whole shit up. You can't see that. You ain't got no cameras. You got nothing. All you caring about is right here. You know what I'm saying? So like that's what I try to like. I try to like see everything that's going on around me, so I'm aware and informed of what's going on in the world and going on with my peoples and people I do care about. That's like in Canada or in California. But I put that phone down and that shit. Yeah, shit not there no more.
I was about to say like how often do you detox from the internet?
I usually do it throughout the day. I be on my phone all the fucking time, but like. I'll just like play the game and then not look at my phone for like 2-3 hours, or I'll like just watch a movie. You know what I'm saying? That'd be enough time for me. But it'd be like whenever it's like some shit going on, like with me specifically, like when niggas like think a certain way of me or like upset at me or like I'm getting like hate, I just be like, all right, cause I digest it. And I'm like, fuck, maybe I am a fucked up nigga. You know what I'm saying? And I take all that shit in, so then it'd be like. You just get down on yourself, so I can't even like really think about this shit. You feel me? I didn't like cried about shit like that. I'm like, I don't even know this motherfucker. This motherfucker don't know me. What the fuck I'm crying about this shit for?
Have you ever been like in a time? I know I have. When I'm like running in my mind, be like you just running.
Yeah, I run away from like I feel like everything in my mind. I visualize. I'm like very big on visualizing. So if I'm running from a problem, I'm like actually running from it.
Yeah, like you just running, and I feel like that just bring. I don't know, man. That shit get like real scary. That's one thing I need to figure out in my mental health. Like. I got to figure out how to X that out. Like running from problems or just running in general. Like just feel like somebody chasing me, somebody trying to give me like something dark trying to, I be like, bro, what the fuck is it? You know what I'm saying?
But that's the thing, you're probably scared to look back and like see it. Cause like we can't see things in our mind until we're ready for it. Which is like what I felt on shrooms and shit was like, oh, that's what that is. Damn, this shit ain't as scary as I thought it was. You know what I'm saying? Or like, oh, that shit is scary, but fuck. If I can't keep running from this motherfucker, I gotta turn around and I'm equipped with exactly what to do to handle this shit. I just didn't know. I didn't turn around and look and see what the fuck it was. I could be running from a spider. I could be running from a bear. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like mentally, it's the mental challenges are the hardest part because it's not physical. We cannot weigh it at all. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody could tell you a problem, you're like, that's not that big of a problem. it is to them. You know what I'm saying? You have no way of seeing how big it is to them, but it's like, nigga, if you could look at this table and be like, this bitch weigh like 100 pounds, and that's gonna remain true regardless. So okay, if I can't lift 100 pounds, I can't handle the shit. So it's like mentally is hard because there's no like parameters at all for what like how much something mean or how much is weighing down on the person.
I think that's, I think that's why people don't really understand the correlation between mental stress and then like physical stress. It's so easy to see something going on in your body and be like, yeah, that's a real issue. But when it's going on in your mental, like, man, that mental, it affects everything, man. Like when you got something going on, anxiety or whatever, like I said, man, it made me throw up. It might make you do something else. You know what I'm saying?
I stress poop.
Hey, man, like, it's some crazy, bro. The anxiety's a mother, man.
Before lectures, I don't eat.
Me neither.
Yeah,
no,
because if you eat, you're going to throw up.
I feel like, when I eat, it brings a bad mood too. Depends what I eat too.
Yeah, you gotta eat like light.
Yeah,
and it has to be healthy because.
Yeah, I realize eating healthy is definitely bad for the mental. That shit is bad.
Eating healthy?
I was like,
heavy.
Okay, I'm like, whoa, nigga.
Sorry, guys.
I don't know if I can co-sign that, nigga.
Eating heavy.
Yeah.
Bro, you be like.
You're right. It makes
damn.
it make you feel like a weight is on you, bro.
Yeah.
But you're not supposed to eat that much food.
No, we don't.
I eat 1 meal a day.
That's why, like, we're crazy because we're American, but, like, when you go to other countries, they, like, eat a lot in parts.
Yeah.
Break it up. Because, like, when we eat, you get lethargic, my nigga. And then we eat. I'm a fast eater. So
Me too.
I'll eat fast, and then your body didn't give the signal, like your stomach didn't send the signal to your brain to tell you to stop eating because you're full. By the time all the food get there, you was past full a minute ago, nigga. So now your stomach just bloated. And you're like, fuck. And niggas be eating pig and shit. I still eat pig, but
You still eat pork.
yeah, I eat like pepperonis and shit, but I don't really eat ribs and shit. But like they're the fucking laziest, dirtiest fucking animals. So imagine just taking in that energy, that transfer into your body, nigga. You gonna start acting like that. You know what I'm saying? It just kind of makes sense.
That's a deep theory too. A lot of people won't believe that theory, but that's a true statement to me.
For sure, yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
So doing lectures still give you anxiety to this day?
Well, I get anxiety whenever I'm around people. Cause but that's my favorite thing to do. I used to be like really good at like presenting, but I'm just an anxious person because I don't want to say I don't care what people think of me, but I'm always thinking what do people think of me. Like with everything I do.
That shit get fucked.
Like say when I did this, I'm like, oh, these niggas gonna think I'm weird because I'm
I was about to try myself.
Yeah.
Let me see what I can do.
But it's
Goku hell no.
Cloud.
But it's like not even that like y'all give off that energy, but it's just like my mind is always thinking of every single thing I do.
Yeah.
Versus like your body just naturally doing things. I'd be like, all right, move your hand down.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm always thinking. So when nigga, it'd be like, bro, I done gave a lecture in front of like 400 people before, and I'm like, but then I also be like stuttering and shit. So that's why I had to make my lecture to where it's like, hey, look, I'm just talking to y'all niggas. So it's so relaxed that like when I do fuck up, cool. But it'd be like my lecture is like, are we talking right now? You know what I'm saying? So like, I'll write down everything I want to talk about. I'll make the slides for it, and then I'll go up there. I have my key points, and then I'll just talk. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's the best way because like you talking about deep shit, like serious shit. You don't want to be talked at. You want me to be like, I don't have the answers. I can't tell you my answers. I can't tell you what I've done to solve my mental health problems. I ain't solved them yet. I can tell you what I've done to like kind of handle them, how to live with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so when I'm talking to people and they feel like more of a conversation than like an actual lecture, that's when they can feel a lot more comfortable. And so that's like it gives me anxiety, but like as soon as I get on that stage, everything gone. Once I hear that first laugh, because I always go
So it's a relief.
Yeah, for sure. It's always a relief. I don't think I ever, even when I've had a bad lecture where I'm like, oh, these niggas don't know anything about me, so like, boom. One person I laugh, and I'm like, all right, I got you. Because like you gotta think like the fucking the yin and the yang of life, and like that's how I view life. So like I talked about it in TED Talk, is that like joy and pain are connected, sunshine and rain are connected, laughter and like crying is connected. So the shit we talking about, like the deep shit, like me want to commit suicide and me cutting myself and like all these things, that's deep, that's heavy. So I gotta make you feel light. So if you up here, we back down here, and then you down here like fuck, I need something to take me from here. Joke, you know what I'm saying? It don't even be like some pre-written shit, but it's just like anything that feels lighter than this heavy ass moment. You know what I'm saying? But because you're not expecting, that's like how movies work, that's how songs work. You feel me? Like a bridge, any of those things, like it's taking you on this roller coaster of ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? So like, if I'm just telling jokes all the time, Like that's why in jokes when they do comedy shows, there's those moments where they like build up to the joke. I'm building up to the drop. I'm not building up to like anything else. I'm building up to let's really dive in. And once we finish diving in about this, all right, let's take it back up. And then we back down there. You know what I'm saying? Then there's no plateau at all. The plateau is boring. You don't want to just drive straight. You want to, you know what I'm saying?
But do you kind of feel like that's you pleasing people a little bit? Because, like, the moment's about you at the end of the day. Like, if you saying something really deep and then you like, man, I got to bring some levity to it because I got to, keep them engaged, or I got to, I don't want to put too much heavy stuff on them. Because that's kind of how I am. But it's just like, man, it's really your moment. Like, when I do group circles with a lot of the students, it's like, they may be saying something and then they look at their phone and stuff because that's their way of disengaging or kind of like, trying to bring some levity to it, or they might crack a joke. And it's just like, man, it's your moment, man. You ain't got to do that to make us feel good. It's kind of your moment.
But that's like for me, like, that's just how I cope with shit. Like, I've made so many jokes about me, like, wanting to commit suicide and shit like that. Just because I'm okay with it now. Back in the day, nigga, I'm like, a little too tight on it, but it makes me feel better. I'm like fucking crying.
Yeah.
I'm crying on stage in front of 400 people, like, and I'm like, man, this shit crazy, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Everybody laughing. It's like, all right, cool. All right, I can do this. I can do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I get down to a low point and I'm like, fuck, like, I'm not just crying about what I talked about. I'm back to that moment of that kid I was uncomfortable, I was shy, I didn't like himself. You know what I'm saying? So I need to build myself back up.
Oh, that's deep.
You know what I'm saying? But the same thing with kids, you gotta understand. Like, I was talking to my nephew about something. I had did something that hurt my nephew's feelings, like, badly. You know what I'm saying? I had asked him, "Are you good?" Like, after, because I didn't know what he was going through. My brother told me what he was going through, and I was like, "Yo, like, my bad. Like, I didn't mean that. I'm sorry." You know what I'm saying? I just was fucking with you how we always fuck with each other. I'm like, "You all right?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm good." 2 minutes later, he on my mama crying. I'm like, "Why you crying?" I'm thinking something else happened. She's like, "Cause you no." I'm like, "Oh." And then so I talked to him later, like probably like 2 days later. I'm like, yo, like, I just want to let you know I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean that. And even if I didn't mean it, even if that wasn't my intentions to hurt you, you still felt that way. And you have every right to feel that way. And just because somebody didn't mean it doesn't mean that, like, you have to just instantly forgive them. Doesn't mean you got to act okay. And so, like, with kids, they disengage because they don't know how to. They literally have never been faced with too many situations where, like children are emotionally unintelligent. So they don't even know they're disengaging. They just don't want to they don't want to talk about that shit. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I'm like, when we first got in the car, he on his iPad. I'm like, let me get like 2 minutes with you without you being on your iPad. Boom, we put his iPad down. We talking. Finish everything I'm saying. I'm reassuring him. And I'm like, bro, you can say anything you want to me. You can tell me if you're not all right. You can break down crying, like, you good. And I promise I'm never going to judge you. You know what I'm saying? I promise, like, if you are okay, amazing. That's what I want you to be. But when you're not okay, cool too. Like, you cannot be okay. You don't always have to just be this cheerful kid. You feel me? Like, niggas start crying. But it's like, he didn't even think that he could have anything else but being happy. Cause you gotta think, growing up, like, I love my brother, but I'm sure he didn't hit him with the, motherfucker, I got all this shit for you, and he ain't appreciating this shit. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't behave with that shit before as a depressed kid. And I'm like, nigga, I just am not happy in life. This Xbox is not changing that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, kids don't even have, like, the emotional intelligence to, like, go through all those complex, like, emotions without somebody, like, mentoring them. You know what I'm saying? With someone, even if they disengage, they hearing that shit for sure. They hear it for sure. Their mind unconsciously takes that shit in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, that's the only, like, way we think that somebody's, like eye contact. You know what I'm saying? Undivided attention is the only way we think people are, like, listening to us. But I'm sure, like, you've been on your phone before. And you're like, yeah, I heard you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just may be safer for them to kind of take a step back and put that little guard right there. But shit's still gonna make it over the fence. You feel me? And, like, hit them.
Crazy. I never thought about it like that, but when you said it, I'm like, damn, that's crazy. It isn't about the other person, it's about you at the end of the day. What makes you feel good. And that's kind of how I feel like that's the number one step in mental health, man. You just got to do what makes you feel good.
Because doing what make you feel good make everybody else feel good. Because when you your best self, like, everybody else can shine from that. You trying to please people, that's when you fuck up.
Yeah, I caught myself doing that shit for the last year. I mean, like I said, I didn't really know what the mental health was, for real, until, like, COVID and everything, sitting down and hearing people, like, hearing these conversations. It's like, damn, I really sat down and heard them, like, wow, this person going through the same thing, you know? I think my biggest thing is pleasing people, and that's what hurt me. It had my mental health and got them dark clouds or them dark theories in my head. I'll just be like, bro, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? I just hope I can wake up the next day because I'm just so deep about what somebody thinking of me. You know what I'm saying? There's been times I got high and I probably called you on some like, bro, I don't know what the hell.
Yeah.
I stopped smoking for that reason. I used to get anxious.
Yeah, man. It's like I don't even smoke no more. Cause it to me, weed opened my thoughts too clear. Like I think too deep about a situation.
That's the thing though. Like it's the same thing with shrooms, but like it kind of like give you the problem and you can figure out the solution. Sometimes with weed, like I just be stuck in that problem, and then I'm like, damn, I'm tripping.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right. Cool. And I'll wake up the next day and I'm like, all right, we not gonna do that again.
Yeah.
And I'll run further away from it with like when I would do shrooms and shit, like not fucking encouraging shrooms, but like the difference I felt from like both of those being like a high and one being a little bit more like a psychogenetic or what the fuck.
Psychedelic.
Yeah, psychedelic. Shrooms helped me fix a lot of problems that I didn't have the answers to yet. Versus weed, like at a moment in life, I was just getting anxiety. Only anxiety, like only, my nigga. And that shit didn't feel good.
Yeah, that shit don't.
You said everybody needs a chance to fail. I think that shit's powerful, man.
Yeah, multiple chances.
Yeah. And I think that's powerful, man. Like
shoot, that's to death.
And especially the black community, you know what I'm saying? Especially young black community, like we feel like we can't make a mistake. Like we make one wrong mistake. And you was talking about even with you said it during your lecture. You was like, man, I feel like if I make a mistake up here, they might not call me back. But like if somebody else was up here doing this lecture, they might be able to make a million mistakes and then they get them back and stuff like that.
You think that comes from like being disciplined as a kid?
Yeah. That you're not supposed to. We raise children as children, not humans. Like we raise them as someone below us that's supposed to listen to everything we do, and if you do something I deem as wrong,
you get a whooping.
You get punishment. So you stop just doing things. You stop trying shit. Like imagine a kid drawing a wall. It's like, damn, you fucked up my wall. I'm mad about that. But damn, that shit kind of fire. Imagine if a parent was like, hey, all right, look, that wall, that's not it. Let me get you some paper. Let me get you some crayons. This is where you draw. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then that just gives them all the discipline you needed. You feel me? Like, and they also continue to try things and do things. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
beautiful, man.
A little kid don't know to not fucking touch a stove. They touch a stove.
Yeah.
So I already burnt my fucking self. Why are you hitting me? You know what I'm saying? Like, and so like, if children were raised as like equals, that I just have to help. I gotta guide you through your only understanding of the world is through me, and I just gotta guide you through this. Like imagine a 20-year-old. Imagine if little kids came out the same size as us, but they just were very naive. You would be like, oh, bro, we're going up here. You feel me?
I don't see me whooping my children.
I don't want to whip my children.
I don't either. I got too many.
Man, Dick Gregory said they don't hear what you mean, they hear what you say. And I think that's just powerful, man. Like, I don't want to demonize nobody, you know, in the black family. I don't want to demonize nobody. But it's just like, man, they be cussing the kids out a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I know that's not what you mean. I know you don't mean to call them a stupid mother. You know what I'm saying? But you mean this to tell him to get his act right. But he don't hear what you mean. He hear what you say.
Yeah.
You call him stupid. And now he think he's stupid when you was just telling him, you know, he got to try hard. He got to So it's just like, man, it's just about being more self-conscious, man.
Yeah, and like,
you know?
like I said, like kids don't have fucking emotional intelligence. Motherfucker, I don't know that you mean this. This is my first time hearing those 3 words put together. What is a stupid motherfucker? I don't know. Oh, it's me. I'm the stupid. I know what stupid mean.
Yeah.
I'm a motherfucker. Okay, cool. That's me now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know you mean, like, I can't interpret this for you. And that's the thing too, like, people will say shit like all the time and be like, well, this is how I meant it. Well, just say how you mean. You know what I'm saying? Just tell me exactly how you feel. Like, stupid motherfucker may have been easier, but what I really wanted to say was like, man, like, you better than, like, you imagine telling a kid, bro, you're smarter than this, I know you, and you're just not living up to not even my expectations, to just like who I know you to be. Just try a little bit harder. If you need help, boom, boom. Man, they gonna walk away from that feeling like they got your support. They're gonna walk away from like they need to do better for themselves, not for you, not for your expectations, any of those things. But instead, they're a stupid motherfucker. That's not gonna inspire anybody at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, and your self-confidence goes down with that because you become a stupid motherfucker and you kind of take on that role. And you're like, well, I'm stupid anyway, so why am I trying in school? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I hear people say all the time, you can't tell people how to parent. But I feel like I don't know. I don't like that concept to be.
I don't need like.
I don't like
kids
that,
before. You can't
bro,
tell me how to raise
I don't like
my
that
kids.
shit, bro. I hate that, bro. Like, cause it's just it's exactly like you saying. It's like you're not treating them like a person at that point.
Yeah.
Like, you know, this is my thing. I treat them like I want to treat them. No, man, they got
raised 9.
They got to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that's right, man.
But you can't tell her. You can't tell her. You know that in the household.
I don't know if this is far fetched, but I think like a lot of black parents, like they're like a lot of our parenting like bad habits are like. This is not me saying I think this, but this is not me saying.
It's a theory.
This is not me saying it's true, but might be a correlation. Is like slavery.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because like our only discipline that we really have known is that, and
it's slavery.
And think about our generation, how all three of us was like we not whoop our kids. We were whooped though.
Yeah, we were.
So it's like my parents was whooped, but they wasn't whooped how they whooped me. They might have got hit with a switch. They might have got their ass beat. They might have got punched. You feel me? Like, and then think about their parents before that. It was a lot worse. And then you keep breaking it down towards slavery. They were like literally lynched. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
That's
I'm not doing you as bad as I was did, but I'm still disciplining you. So like our generation now is like, all right, now.
Yeah, that shit got to stop.
You know what I'm saying? And we may not even do as good with our words as we would if our children was raised somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because we might say some crazy shit and our kids take it away. And like, all right, cool, my dad didn't hit me, but he did say some crazy shit to me like at one point in time, and I make sure I'm not doing that to kids. So it's like every generation we just got to continue to like make those steps towards being better. And then our generation we're raising up will be better because of that.
But they did their part. Every generation did their part.
100%.
Like
every generation did what they could.
Yeah,
did what they knew.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They did what they.
Shout out to my parents.
My dad, my father died when I think he was 12. Our relationship went down the drain when I was 12. Because you don't have no example.
Wow.
You have nothing to look. You don't know how to raise a 13-year-old. You weren't raised as a 13-year-old by a man. You know what I'm saying? By a man that was your father. So it's like, when I was like, I realized that correlation when I was like 22. I'm 23. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, man, you used to do a lot of crazy shit. And like, my dad didn't like abuse me, like verbally, physically. You know what I'm saying? And I've found a way to forgive him. You know what I'm saying? But through conversation, like, and open conversation, or through him admitting his wrongs. You know what I'm saying? Through him hearing me. And like that space being created. But I had to like kick the door in for that space. I had to force him. Like, I blocked my dad's number. Like, nigga, I promise you I'll never talk to you ever again in my life. And the only way we will is if this gets better. And it's like, all right, do I want you in my life, or do I want to like keep not admitting my wrongs? You know what I'm saying? And so like that was the space with it. But every person does the best that they can until they are exposed to what could make them do better.
Open. You gotta have an open conversation for the situation to get better.
You gotta have open conversation, open mind. Both sides. Because my dad talking to me like, bro, it was so much pressure, nigga. Like, fuck, I gotta provide. I come home, the house dirty. My dad truck driver. I've been on the road from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. I come home, y'all motherfuckers done fucked up this whole house that I'm working hard for. I'm like, nigga, it's just a house. He's like, nigga, this is my time. I put my time into this. And then, you know, you grow up and you like, nigga, you can have some shoes and niggas have on your shoes. What the fuck? You feel me? Like, so imagine you got a whole house of people you love and they're not treating something that you worked for to put them into and take care of them and not appreciating that. You know what I'm saying? And that don't justify anything he did. But it gave me perspective of like, all right, I get where your mind was, but don't do that shit with my little brother. There's other ways to do it. I'm like, Dad, you could have told me a long time ago. You could have had open conversations with me a long time ago about like how you feel about shit.
Instead of being the masculine, you know, hey, everybody come here.
Man.
We gonna get this.
Man, I'm like, bro.
And then you be like, man, nigga, if you don't get the fuck out.
And he like, I was always the villain. I'm like, bro, you was, because you thought that was the only way a father could be. Like you thought my mom had to be the feminine voice of reason and shit. Nigga, you could have been both. Like, I believe like femininity and masculinity have to like coexist with every person.
Yeah.
Because if you gotta think about women, like when there's women bosses, they have masculinity to them. Not to say that they're acting like a man, but just the masculine energy to be able to take control of a room. You know, so all these things. But then they also have the femininity to understand and like think about somebody's emotions. How would this, if there was a marketing, how would this ad affect people's emotions? All right, we need to also bring in a lot more different, diverse people. A man may not think like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then the same things that a man might think about, a woman might think about. But if you put both of those in, instead of just thinking, I need to be 100% masculine, I need to be 100% feminine, then you have both sides, like the balance of it.
Yin and yang. Yeah.
Exactly.
Man, I appreciate you coming on the podcast, man. This shit was powerful as hell, man.
It was.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, Yeah, we really broke some machines today, man. This was powerful, man. But before we get off, man, I wanted to shout out to Kira, man. She was one of the students that I mentored at my old high school, man. She loved you, bro.
Oh, tell her.
She loved you for real, man. So I just wanted to shout her out on the podcast, man.
What school did she go to?
International Academy of Flint. My old high school, man.
Oh, you were from Flint?
Yeah, I'm from Flint. 810, yeah. But man, like, yeah, bro, like, I really appreciate you, bro. Like, super humble that, like, you take a couple moments with us for real, bro.
I appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah, man, I had a good conversation.
For real.
I hope I didn't, like, talk too much.
Hell no. Loved it.
It's just crazy for 23, though. For real.
Yeah, I was seeing this, bro.
Seeing older than you.
Yeah, I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Experience a motherfucker.
You have to reflect, though. A lot of people experience shit, but they don't, like, reflect on their experiences. So they never grow from it or, like, learn things from it. But, like, books and shit, too. There's some quote from Dizzy Wright, but he was quoting somebody else, and he was like, I heard if you want to hide something from the nigga, the best way to do it is put it in a book. And so it's like, everything, bro, there used to be a fucking global library that burned down. You know what I'm saying? Like, with all this shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, everything we need and, like, want is in literature or is in art. You know what I'm saying? Like, advancements within, like, all of these things, like medicine and literature, medicine and arts, there would be no advancement of humans without that, because we needed to survive longer, but we also needed to, like, create something that fulfilled our life. You know what I'm saying? So all the arts do that, and all the arts are always here, nigga. I think To Kill a Mockingbird is, nigga, old as fuck.
Yeah,
To Kill a Mockingbird is old as shit.
Yeah.
Still gotta read that in 10th grade.
That book sucks. Fuck that book. I hate that book. Fucking Atticus Finch.
Yeah.
Fucking book.
Yeah, you still gotta read that in 10th grade.
Hey, man, y'all tune in for another week, another episode of Breaking the Machine next week, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning into this new episode, man. Demetrius Harmon, Breaking the Machine. This is a wrap. You dig?
Get it.